Welcome one and all to Codeweaver Plays Games. It's like fourth time's a charm at this point, so we're going to switch right on over into the casting. Step back, just make sure everything looks like it's tracking okay. I don't know what's up with the update rate, but hopefully it'll smooth itself out. I am playing a game called Swords and Sorcery Nomad. Now I've skipped past the character creation screen just to give myself a body and to look around in the space that I'm in. Alright. So this is a standalone game for the Quest 2. I believe it was originally a PC VR game. They're just porting this now. They're about, I don't know how far they are into it, but they've at least got their sandbox and tutorial mode involved in it, like built up already. So this will be good enough for me to do a demonstration of this. Part of the reason is to test to see how the Quest Pro and Quest 3 controllers sort of match up in experience. And I can only do this by going through this twice. Once with the Quest 3 controllers, the ones that standard come with the Quest 3 that I'm wearing, and ones that come with the Quest Pro. And the difference there being is that the Quest 3 controllers, as good as they are tracked by the headset like the Quest 2 controllers were. So they can lose tracking when your hands go behind your head. Most of the time that doesn't matter, behind your head or behind your back. They try to fake some of their tracking when they're behind there by using the orientation of the controllers and history and IMUs and all that kind of good stuff. But the Quest Pro controllers self-track. They track just like the headset does by scanning the environment and then tracking themselves and figuring out what's going on without the headset needing to make those determinations and without losing tracking when they go behind your back and all that kind of good stuff. Does it matter? Not very often, I don't think, but for those hardcore players or picky players who don't want them to, the controllers to do something janky to your game just because they go a little bit outside the scope of the cameras on the headset, I'm going to do that test. I'm going to do it by testing a game that I have been examining for friends and family. So hopefully all is going well in the stream for once. Yeah, all right. Wow, that casting is really not great, is it? And I don't know how to fix that. Okay, let's I really don't want to be casting when it's that awful. Well, we'll have to see how it goes and I'll have to review this afterwards. The visual fidelity of this is basically because in order to get this off of the headset and into the OBS stream, I cast this to my PC over my wireless. It then goes and repackages it up with the audio stream and then sends it out into the world. I can't really do anything about the fidelity of my headset casting except maybe upgrade my Wi-Fi hardware, which I am not going to do at this juncture. So you're going to have to suffer with that. We'll have to see how this goes. But in any case, let's get right on with this, shall we? Welcome. In this tutorial, I'll learn the basics of playing the game. Skills will unlock as you progress. Now, I've done this a few times, so I'm going to move past a lot of this pretty quick. You can open the menu to check your inputs or leave the area. That's fine. Press the menu button to open the menu. There we go. Menu. We can close it again. Use the left thumbstick to move around. You can also use the right stick to turn. All right, so it's turning based on my headset position, which I do not like. So we're going to quickly change that. So we're going to go into, is it sandbox? No, somewhere in the user interface thing. Inputs. Locomotion direction is not headset. I want it to be controller based because that just irritates the heck out of me. All right. So now, if I'm pointing in a direction with my thumbstick, I go where I'm pointing, and I can turn my head to the left and right and look around as I'm passing by without like swerving in that direction. I'm glad they provided that option. Provide all the options, because not everybody agrees with me on this, but I'll die on this hill. So, when you may feel sick and moving around, take regular breaks. Yes, that's fine. Oddly enough, I want to get right over there, but for the sake of the tutorial, there's an invisible wall here, which is not the most fantastic way to do this. Of course, I can just turn around by turning around. But jump by pressing the right touchpad or by pushing the thumbstick up. Now, I've disabled the thumbstick up but I can press the button. There we go. The reason I disable the thumbstick up is it's too easy to press the thumbstick up and slightly to the side, and so you're turning as you're jumping. Don't know why they chose that as a mechanic, but there it is. Okay, in Blade and Sorcery, everything is physical and can be grabbed by using the grab button. Well, we can test this by reaching out here and grabbing. Everything in this is physics-based. That's both good and bad, because sometimes the physics isn't perfect, and that is frustrating at times, but it also means that when you get used to it and when it's working, it feels very real. Right? Although, one of the things that I really wish, you can hand objects off, and that's great. I really wish you could do two-handed grabs of things. Maybe they have an option for that, I haven't found it yet, but in any case, let's just move on with this. Okay, so you can use ledges or cracks between rocks to climb and grab. Pressing jump while at the top of the ledge will allow you to hop up and over the top. Great, go away. Okay, the thing that's interesting about this is I spent a lot of time playing the Climb and the Climb 2, which are Quest, Rift, PCVR, Quest 3 games that involve rock climbing. And while the ease of which you grab edges and move your way up, and the edges that are marked for you to be able to grab is easier doing the climb, it has trained me very well for this. So, and the fact that it's so very physical is quite interesting. You can't quite grab every surface, but if you work at it, you can find a grip that enables you to grab a surface, and it feels very visceral. Now I could climb my way through this. And I can jump my way through this. But let's see if I can, I'm just gonna sort of position myself here and grab and just move myself over. You find it easiest to grab when your fingers naturally wrap around the edge. If you try to grab underneath it or on top and slide back, it doesn't let you grab very easily. Just grab. It's a little harder to get a grip, but it's very satisfying when you realize the way that you can work your way around the environment. Dropping down and grabbing things is really hard in this. Way harder, because you can't slide past and grab something. Not easily anyway. So, that's one mechanic that I do not use very much. Check that out. We climbed out. Oh, it's very satisfying. It's especially satisfying now that I'm not in a chair and I'm actually up and about. Move my body around. All right, slide down the rope, grab it, and hold the trigger button. Okay? So we can grab. Now, we can pull ourselves over to it. Then we can turn ourselves around physically in my room. And we just rotate about the rope. It's not super realistic, but imagine that you're super strong and somehow you can use your one hand to maneuver yourself around the rope. Now you can climb down the perfectly natural way, but you can also do that whole, actually both triggers if you're using both hands, and you can slide down the rope, so that's cool. And of course you can do the snap rotation, so you don't have to turn around in the middle of your space. I'm actually finding that that's becoming more annoying, so I'm going to stop doing that. I am going to actually rotate my body for most of this now that I'm in a standing position. Because that just feels more natural anyway, and on camera it probably looks less like I'm suddenly, lurching. The turn on the spot thing is a very, very good thing for most people. Like doing this very rapidly and then stopping is easier on a lot of people than, to mimic running motion with your real hands. All right, go to that, please. Yes, hold trigger to skip. Yes, please. I'm trying to. Do you want me to do that so it goes away? Yes, thank you. A lot of people can't handle continuous rotational motion in VR. You can wall jump while gripping any surface or looking in the direction you wish to leap and pressing the jump button. All right. The last time I tried to do this, I was seated. That was actually possible but awkward. All right, so grab, lift myself up, grab, and lift myself up. And then I'm going to launch myself up. I'm going to try this leaping over thing. So I'm going to grab and lift, grab, and lift, grab, and lift. I'm going to try what they said. Look over and press the jump button. Now I'm only going to press the jump button and not try to press the forward motion button. Ooh, it actually works. I have to jump up a little harder. So I'm going to try that again, actually, because I'm testing something here. If I grab this and grab this and grab this, I'm going to turn around like I did before. I'll use the other hand this time. But I'm going to press over. I'm going to press forward at the same time I do the jump. I don't know, I kind of feel like I got more. Whoa! That was a little terrifying. Oh, I guess this rock ledge came. I don't know what happened there. Doesn't matter. I think pushing forward on the stick when you're jumping helps you not just go where you're looking, but also gives you just a little bit more forward motion. Don't know if they intended that because it's not really super physical, but that's okay. Maybe it's like pushing off with your legs. You know, that's a good way to describe it, right? Anyway, hand over head, just like in the climb. I'll get to the swords and archery thing in a bit. All right, so here and launch. Now that's quite a big jump. All right, so let's look around, shall we? I do occasionally have to peek under my visor to make sure that I'm centered in my room. Eventually I'll get to the Guardian and it'll warn me to step back, but I don't want to get there in the first place. You know what I found? I'm deferring to using that snap rotation. I want to train myself out of doing that. I'm used to doing that for sitting down. I want to train myself out of doing that when I actually have the room to move around. Oh, here we go. You've acquired magical powers. Now you're able to slow time. Try it by pressing the time slow button. To stop the effect, press the time slow button again. So that's B. All right. So if I press that, and then I jump. Ooh, so I could use that when I'm about to drop off a ledge so that I can reach out and grab something more sensibly. All right. Very interesting. I feel like I'm in a cavern. Like, this is nice. They've done a pretty good job here. Hey, I'd love to see what the PC VR version of this is to see if when you have the processing power of a full PC and graphics card independently generating the scene, if they've done an even better job. Often when you port it to the standalone, you have to sacrifice a few things. Even on the Quest 3, but we'll see how that goes. Now, I've played this tutorial about 3 times already. And I can tell you something really magical. You can actually climb that pillar by very carefully finding cracks and fissures and work your way all the way up to that top ledge where the sky is. And you can't get out of the roof of it because there's an invisible ceiling there. I really wish they'd remove that because the prize for getting up there at all should be being able to get on top of the mountain. That might be interesting to get to if I could. Don't know if I would be able to though, because that's pretty sheer and you need at least some fissures. You can work your way up. Oh, well, anyway, you know, I have the telekinesis power, so grab objects from afar. Reach your hand toward the object until you see an interaction icon around it, and then press the grab button to grab it with telekinesis. This is one of those slightly non-physical things that they bring into the game, I guess, for simplicity. Now pull the lantern, trigger, pressing. Now pull the lantern, pressing trigger until you grab it. Alternatively, you can repel it using the repel button. So repel is that the lower button on both controllers. Okay, all right, that's fine. So get rid of that. All right, so you can use the lantern to swing and jump over the gap. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So that sort of. Oh, see, so I can grab it and like move it around as if I were holding it on a big pole, but then I can pull the trigger and bring it towards me, and grab a hold of it. Okay. Can I? Whoa, okay. I did not expect that. No, I can't grab the rope. Okay. So, what I can do though is I can use the forward and backward on the trigger in order to swing me and then let go. I could have jumped. I could have used the jump button. I just let go there, so that was pure physics. And I really don't think there's a crack I can use to get all the way up to there, although wouldn't it be fun? Is there enough of a ridge anywhere in there? Maybe. Shall we try? This is not really getting to the swords and sorcery part of the game. You know what? I'll save that for when I have the Quest Pro controllers, maybe, or I don't know. I may do it later. It would be a long climb, and I've done crazier things in this particular game, but I'm keen to get onto the archery section of this. All right, so here we go. There's a weapon on the ground by your bones. You have 4 holsters, 2 on your shoulders and 2 on your hips. To store a weapon, simply drop it into one of the holsters. All right, so you can pick it up with telekinesis, pull the trigger to bring it to your hand, and now you got a sword you can swing. It's great. Now I have been able to pull it over my shoulder to put these things in. But a little trouble putting it in my side. Yeah, so that's something that's still a problem. 2 on your hips. To retrieve your weapon, simply reach into the holster you stored and press the grab button. Yeah, so the problem is I can't sheath it like this. It's not picking up, so there's a bug here. So if I drop it, it just falls to the ground. If I try to store it like here by holding it this way or this way, that's not really possible. Oh, hello. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, because I like to be able to reach cross to draw my blade, so I'd like to be able to. Okay, I like to be able to drop it here. Okay, so game developers, that doesn't feel good. Like I can see what you're trying to do, make it easier to go to here and like let go of it this way, but that's not how you draw a sword. Okay. That annoys me, but as long as I know the rules for that, that's not terrible. And it's possible to accidentally not have it drop, and there's no on-screen trigger to let you know your hand is over to the slot. So devs, you got another thing. First of all, allow me to do it across. Second of all, make it so that when I'm doing this, an icon comes up, maybe down in the corner here or over here or something, to say that I'm in the slot, because I can do that when I'm like this and it says antique sword. It doesn't say that when it's down here. See what I mean? Okay, gotta fix that, devs. That's just annoying. It's an inconsistency, and the problem is the consequence of not doing it right, especially when you're in a pinch, is you'll actually drop your sword on the ground, which is really annoying. So get your fingers wrapped around the edge. There we go. Top and leap off. Very fluid. Feels very good to have that visceral climbing action. Alright. Here's where we get into some. Well, we get into this. You can easily slide down zip lines thanks to the pulling in your inventory. To open your inventory, place your hand on your chest and press the spell button. Okay. Inventory UI is open. You can rotate your wrists as if using a screwdriver to navigate the menu and then press the grab button to select an object. Not sure if I like this interface, but I think I can get used to it. If you want to store any found items in your inventory, simply drop them on your chest and over your shoulder. Okay, you never lose your pulley. If you drop it, it will return to your inventory. Great. So, we're going to get up to the rope first. There we go. All right. So, and I've actually hand-over-handed my way all the way down this. I like the fact that they made this a physical thing that you can manipulate. So, hand to chest, press the spell button. Then twist it like you're using a screwdriver, but you can't move your hand too far forward or it goes away. So I don't like this because I'd like to be able to do that with my hand to control it rather than like sideways. So I find this a very awkward interface. However, and grip trigger to select is a little weird, but so you go to the outer ring, but then you pull, then you do what? Then you press. There we go. Okay, so if I put that back in my inventory, press the button, select that, and if I don't pull my hand away in time, then it just drops back into my inventory. So there's a lot of weird fail cases there that if you're not careful, you can, anyway. All physics based, so in order to do this sensibly, I actually had to place this on the rope, grab with the other side, and then turn around, and I've died. Where is it going to dump me? That was awkward. Alright, well, that's fine. This is actually good for the tutorial. I don't know why it wouldn't let me reorient it back up. Devs, you're going to have to work on that too, because I had a grip on both sides, but I placed it on awkwardly, and then I couldn't recenter it after I was hanging from it. Got to figure out what that's about. Otherwise, I have done that with the zip line as well. It's actually a lot of fun. Anyway, let's get on to the combating part of this, yeah? So, I have my sword. So what I can do is I can crouch. Fortunately, the turning is on the same thing. Two enemies guarding the home, take them out. Walk slowly, crouching by pushing down on the right thumbstick will allow you to perform stealth kills. I like this mechanic. You can't have the crouching thing on the same stick as turning unless your dead zone for the turning is quite enormous. You have to fix this. It's too easy to do this. So, devs, get on that, please. I gotta take my sword out first, though. Can't do the run thing while you're in crouch mode. Good, they've disabled that. We don't have a bow yet. In fact, why don't we go get... Well, no. You know what? I'll show the sword activity. It's actually really cool. All right. So here... Right. You actually have to block the thrusts as they come at you, which is fantastic. Okay. And I'm not a fencer. All right. I do get the audio cue and I successfully let it go, but it's not quite enough. This ends the tutorial. Fire, lightning, and gravity spells are now unblocked, blah, blah, blah. All right. Feel free to, I can show you what that looks like. Let's go to fire, and then we pull the trigger, we grow a thing, and then we can lob it, and that's great. And that's fine. That's not really what I want to test in this game, though. It is really cool, though. And then we have this, which is lightning, so you can... Is this lightning or gravity? I don't know what this does. Is this the gravity one? Need to find something that I can move. This is lightning. This is... I mean, that's super cool, right? But this gravity one, do I have anything that I can lift up? Let's go inside, because I'm pretty sure... Oh, it's like that's interesting. So, kind of want to grab the healing potion and put it in my inventory. Come on, grab, put it in my inventory. Apple. Eat it. And lob it back on. Now let's go and test the gravity spell. Nope. Gravity spell. Oh wow. Okay, and what happens if I do a pull? Nothing. Alright, so it's a shove. It's basically a shove. Alright, that's cool and all that, but that's not what I'm here for. This is what I'm here for. You, now I'm going to be drawing you from this side. So I'm going to be drawing over, drawing the other side with the quiver. So I can reach over, grab an arrow, and again, it's a little difficult to know where that is, so standing back. It's not perfect. Yeah, so because of the way I've grabbed it here, putting it back is awkward. I guess I have to actually touch the quiver with the arrow, which is a little awkward. If I were to grab it like this. Yeah, okay, so that's what that is. The regions for grabbing and everything are still a little awkward. Very early access game as far as I'm concerned in terms of the VR interface. I don't think they have it very fluid. This is something else I had a problem with it, which is putting on all of the gear. But we're gonna need this, so let's give this a go. Here we go. Although that happened easier than I thought it would. This might be easier when you're in standing because some of the what do you call it, collision volumes are not overlapping and doing slightly dorky things. So, okay. Like the circlet. Can I wear the circlet with the crown? Yep, sort of underneath the crown, that's fine. You see now it's a little tricky for it to find how to put it on my head again. Face maybe and head? Okay. I love the pure physics interaction, but it has to work correctly. And drop that, I'm not gonna need that. All right. Finally boots, to teleport those over. Slightly stuck in the floor. Okay, can you... There we go. That's awkward. That needs to get fixed. It's just a little too hard to find the right overlapping zones. So there's sort of quality issues that I would say. Like I really love the mechanism. I'd like to be able to do that. If that were super fluid, where I just go down here, that's pants. Touching below my knee, that's feet. Just make the boxes bigger, make them more intuitive, or make them contextual to the thing that you're trying to put on. Like having my chest glow when I bring the boots up to it is pointless. That's not where the boots go. So contextual attachment of items would make that a lot easier from a gameplay point of view. Let's get on with the archery. Do that, I think we're going to have to actually go to the next island. There's only a sandbox mode in this so far. But I could really get into this this style of gaming. All right, here we go. We're gonna go to here, short difficulty, small difficulty, short length, because I'm only gonna be in there briefly. Travel. All right, here we go. Stop using that snap. All right, here we go. Drawing the bow. I'm going to try to do most of this. So here's where it matters, all right? So when I'm doing this, when you draw back the bow, you take it behind your ear like this. And that is a loss of tracking right there. Because if I bring it forward, it snaps back into the correct position. See, it just doesn't know where my hand is. It has to guess. My hand is way behind my head. And the reason why this shows up here more than in the climb is because in the climb you're often doing things with very fast motions or temporary motions. Even with the fling, it's often out here and then you fling yourself, or above here and then you fling yourself. But the minute you go behind your head, that's a problem. And I knew this was going to be a thing in archery. So this is the bit that I'm super interested to test out when I have the Quest Pro controllers. Does it matter? I don't know. Maybe. I am lousy at this. Stop moving. Part of this is just going to be I kind of suck at archery, apparently. They are dodging a bit. Those grab boxes have to be improved. Run. Okay. Yeah, those grab boxes have to be improved. So I'm reaching over to grab arrows and it's just not happening. So that's just annoying. But that's a game thing, it's not a controller thing. So again, I can recover arrows and that's a nice touch. A lot of them went off into space though. Here's a couple. I like the fact that your telekinesis isn't infinitely strong. See, there was a kind of a glitch too, right? That goes in the bow. I have not only my arrows back there, but my quiver as well. So if it thinks I'm trying to put a quiver or an arrow in the quiver spot, it gets all kind of whiny. See, like, why can I not put my arrows back in my... See? Saying quiver. Now, did I use up all my arrows? It might have. Super weird. There's a context thing in the game that's just kind of broken. There it is. So apparently I can unstick the problem, but it still shouldn't happen in the first place. That's annoying. Anyway, moving right along. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go a little bit further. can grab this, which is nice. Everything seems to be physically touchable in a lot of ways, but I can't open it. Can I not actually go in here? No. Maybe I have to find another way through. Last time I could go through there. This time I don't seem to be able to. Okay. Is there a way down here maybe? Oh, and this door is now open. This wasn't open the last time I was here. Alright. Alright, no snuff. Alright. Drop that back in there, get an arrow out. Okay, so they've randomized some of the ways to get through this. Okay, move the shoulder. The hitbox has to be better, guys. Your physical interactions in this game, guys, leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, I understand how unbelievably difficult it is. It needs work. It's fun in its immersiveness, but it needs a little bit of work. Oh. there's any sensible way that I could actually make that jump, but no. That's just me not being sort of physically adept. I would have to do a run, then do a jump, and then do a grab. Oh, I could probably do it in slow motion. Alright, but that's not the point of this. That is not the point of this. I'm trying to practice my archery. I love the physical immersiveness. More games need to do this, but developers definitely need to understand how incredibly difficult it is to get right. But that's where it came down from? No, it can't be. No, it doesn't. Alright. Okay, well, couldn't do much with my archery there. Come on, hop me over the ledge. There's gotta be a better way to do that. The thing I did like about, actually that didn't work too badly. Just throwing myself up like I do in the climb, actually. Okay, turn around, reach over. Let's try to do a. Nope, that was a mistake. Not entirely sure why it was leaving me sideways there, but that's okay. Oh God. You see, now this in a PC game would be a trivial thing, but okay. Shall we try it? I actually did it. Okay, I dig it. I dig it. That's actually serious dare and do kind of stuff. Alright, so a lot of that stuff where you're going to be very physically accurate, but they have to compensate for the fact that the controls are often a little bit tricky to get right. But this doesn't get me anywhere, does it? I mean, it's nice to get up here. Okay. Reach down. Alright. I mean, that's cool. But I mean, it really. Now, doesn't get me any further than doing that. Wherever you are. Oh, that's bad. Come on, jump, jump, get me off of there. Come on. Okay. Oh, jeez. Snuck up right behind me. God. So bad at this. Compensating for the that one was dead on. But for the shield. Come on, where the heck is it? This has to be fixed, guys. It doesn't. The hitbox for grabbing arrows is just awful. Come on. Getting better at being able to adjust. Well, that should have hit him. great. Okay, well, here's where we get industrious. Well, you're still up. You're still up too. Okay, well, but I'm playing on easy mode. And I'm dead. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to load ourselves all the way back to home. Right, and so we're back here, and that's fine. Back up to 50 arrows. So here's what we're going to do. Here is what we're going to do. We are going to switch over to using the other controllers. Now, I don't anticipate this is going to make a lot of difference for the sort of the rapid fire portion of this. And it's a little bit unfair that I started with these because the mere act of me no, hang on, okay, pair left controller. But you are going to be unpaired. And you are also going to be unpaired. I'll put you off when you're charging knocks. So the mere act of me having played with those controllers first for a little while means that I'm going to be at least slightly used to shooting the arrow. So don't take this as gospel. This is more going to be what happens when I'm doing a slow draw to see if it makes any difference. Same game played from just that spot. I'm not going to worry about the whole climbing and the wall climbing and the jumping, all that from the tutorial area, because that's not really what I want to test here. Okay, left-hand controller. I had to turn on the casting again. I realize that it's become unhooked. So you're just going to have to listen to my voice. Come on, pair the left controller already. Left controller paired. Great. Pair right controller. So what I'm doing right now is switching over to the Quest Pro controllers. The only thing that this should realistically do is give me slightly less jank for the longer held shots where the controller is beside my head. All right. All right, so we have to go into cast. And that's come up okay. I think I'm back up and running without killing a stream. All right, so here we go. This looks all okay. Just pop up to here. Controllers are working fine. Hit outpost. Low difficulty, low length. Now this is likely to randomize the level ever so slightly, which is kind of cool. All right, so this is all fine. There's our first targets. Reach over, grab the bow. Reach over, grab the arrow. It was a little bit easier, but I don't think that means much. Okay, so let's check this out. So here we go, pulling back, way behind my head, wiggling it around. See that? Let's do it again. Above my head, below my head. It's not popping suddenly. It's not holding my hand out here suddenly. Tracking goes all the way back. Continuous tracking. So again, this is an edge case, right? Because a lot of games this isn't really going to matter. It's only going to matter in things where your hands are either, where they can't be tracked by the headset optically, which could mean like when they overlap each other. Look at this. I mean, I didn't test this before, but overlapping the controllers can sometimes cause a little bit of jank too. But drawing behind your ear or doing the overhand thing for the climbing is where it can matter. Is this going to matter in practice? I honestly don't know. It's less distracting in those certain cases. Well, that was awful. Still have problems grabbing a hitbox though. Glanced off their axe, which I really like. Okay, so I don't attribute the fact that I had an easier time to the controller specifically. Reaching for this was still a problem. Oh, and look at that. Still got into that already used nonsense. Quiver, thank you, put the quiver back, grab the... You have to fix that, guys. Alright. See, door's open this time. I think the snap turns are starting to screw me up too, because I can turn around in place quite quickly. Physically, I mean. That did not work. Can I grab my... I don't need you, but I kind of want you, and you're not going to let me pick you up, are you? Yeah, another problem with this game is stuff occasionally falls to the floor. Oh well. Okay, moving on. And climb up. Okay. Bow. On fingers, thank you. don't think they're smart enough to actually find me up here. Come on. Come on, knock it. Thank you. I'm getting better at compensating for having to aim slightly to the right. I haven't quite got a complete feel for it yet, but... Now, is this mattering? In the long run, is this mattering? Only, I think... I mean, it may be mattering if I'm pulling back quickly and expecting and trying to get that muscle memory going in, because then I know the position of the controller is where the other end of the hand is. So that may matter. Muscle memory, so the tracking is true to where I pull my hand back to. But mostly it's just a distraction when I pull it back and it gets slightly janky for a moment. You know what? Let's do some reorganizing here. Bow there, you here, and you. Look at that. That's nice. That doesn't require precision hands on surface. It's just that when it's in proximity, you can then grab it because it's in the right position. That's nice. Also, I think slightly lower gravity, but anyway. And you here. Bow out. Come on. Bow. There we go. Bow out. Arrow. Okay. Yeah, I like how it's slightly easier to grab the arrows out of things and people. Come on. When you grab them physically rather than with your telekinesis. There's a lot of physics going on. They've done a lot of things right that feel right. Oh, hello. I mean, I don't know if that's where I meant to go, but I certainly want to check it out. I can't reach that, so... Bit of a jump. Oh, that's cute. So you could have gotten there and then grabbed this thing. Shall we try it? Nope. Okay. Well, that was dumb. But that was dumb. But it was worth a shot. Oh, and now we're back here again. Uh-oh. Near my guardian. Ooh. Come on, grab the air. Thank you. Oh, great. Okay, here we go. Come on, come on. Great, okay. Okay, I'm dying horribly because at least partially I don't have a quiver. Okay, so you gotta go away. this might be an endless supply of bad guys situation. All right. So what have we learned? That was a lot of quietness as I tried to take that to the quote next level. Oh. Did it freeze? No, it got all the way to the end and then it froze because casting decided to crap out on me because reasons. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We are going to hit the stop casting button. So, what are the things that I can say about that? So over the course of the evening, I've tested out the climb and I've tested out this game. And it was a lot of fun. Both of them were a lot of fun. Game-wise, obviously I prefer the climb, it's more polished. But what can I say actually about the experience of using the Quest Pro controllers? One, they work fine. The controllers work fine. They sync up fine. They get used as controllers fine. In the rare instance where my drawing back took the controller past my ear, which was nearly every time when I was preparing a shot, maybe not every time when I was doing the rapid fire stuff, I could tell a little bit that it felt more reliable, but I might have been looking at that through rose-colored glasses. Like knowing that it was going to do that, I might have been preparing myself for it, like amped up for it, and it might not have been a real effect. I could use the Quest 3 controllers just fine for the most part. And as long as I was doing sort of pull back to the ear and let go quickly, it probably wouldn't have mattered in any significant way because you would have been drawing back mostly straight backward. It would have been able to predict where your hand was by other motion cues of the controller, and you would have let go and it would have been fine. Not important that much when you're doing the sword fighting, as long as you're not doing big broad strokes that like go way behind you. And even then, if you bring the sword back out in front of you, fine. As games, I love the pure physicality of the Sword and Sorcery game. I think that's a way that VR is eventually going to go for a lot of super immersive games, but it's super, super hard to do. And the better the hardware that you have to support you, the better chance you have been able to do it. Does it make for a fun game? Depends how much you're willing to put up with in the pursuit of that immersiveness, I think. But we'll have to see, because next time I do this, I'm going to do that exact test, but I'm going to do it on Dungeon Explorer. I think I'm done for the evening. I've had a lot of physicality this evening, hopping around my apartment. And you guys have been staring at a casting screen the entire time. So I'm going to say thanks for joining me. This has been Codeweaver Plays Games. And I'll see you in the next stream.